I was gonna panic buy tubes, but I talked myself out of it because let's be honest with each other here. Vacuum tubes are really only around for guitar amplifiers because we don't want to grow up. That is a luxury item. Your life will move on without a vacuum tube. That is why you don't panic buy tubes. Hello and welcome to Studio 48. I'm Brennan and this is Signal Path. Today, I'd like to talk about the Splawn QUICK ROD. Okay, so the Splawn QUICK ROD 100 is a 2-channel amplifier featuring a clean channel and an overdrive channel. The overdrive channel reminds me of something that I could use to play Alice in Chains songs all the way into maybe Bring Me the Horizon or something a little bit heavier. It has a very good sound to it. This also features on the back side that we cannot see a half wattage setting, which is really good. 100 watts is quite a bit of power, especially if I'm just simply recording here in the room or jamming out. When you have a very controlled room, you can really hear how loud your amplifier can get, especially if it's 100 watts. Today, I'm going to be demoing the Splawn using this crank cabinet right here with Eminence speakers. I also brought along a little plumes pedal here, a very simple overdrive, just to see how that sounds with the amp. You know, what I'm finding with this one is I didn't really need this. I'm actually really happy with what this amp can do on its own. A very cool feature is it has a mode setting that you can use the foot switch with. The foot switch allows you to switch between the clean channel, the overdrive channel, the modes, as well as a solo button. I'm just going to focus on the channel 1, which is the clean channel, overdrive channel, and the mode switch. Now the mode switches you from first gear, second gear, and third gear. That is just really creative and really neat that was designed that way. I'm noticing, obviously, it just in various stages of gain. So we're going to start with slightly lower setting, middle setting, and then obviously a higher gain setting. Completely usable in each one. I really like it. On the back side of the amp, we have the foot switch plug-in, which is proprietary to the foot switch. It comes with the amp, which is awesome. We also have the effects loop, which has a level knob. And then we have, obviously, the speaker jacks, which you can adjust the impedance. And then we have a half power or full power switch, which is really, really cool in a small room. We may not need the full 100 watts that this amplifier can deliver. And I've heard this amp a few times in the wild, and it just sounds incredible. I'd also like to shout out Aaron from the band Famous for a Day and Here's to the Life for letting me use this for the demo today. All right, so I've got old trusty American Pro Tele HS going into the Splawn QUICK ROD. And we do have a plumes in the signal chain, which I'm just going to have, we're just going to try that. I mean, everybody likes to hear how an amplifier sounds boosted, so that's what we're going to do with that one. I am using this crank Dimebag signature cabinet with Eminence speakers. So we have an SM57 and a 609 for the playback. Just something to give us an example. This is a very simple demo. Honestly, very cool. That has a great sound to it. I'm going to go ahead and back this volume down, the gain up. We're going to hear this with a tiny bit of dirt. I gotta say, I'm honestly surprised at how controlled that is, because with the gain all the way up, it was still very clean. So that has my seal of approval. Honestly, that's a very cool clean channel. I really like that. So on to everybody's favorite part. This is the overdrive channel. I'd like to acknowledge that in this particular setting, I have everything on the foot switch, no lights, nothing going on. This, I believe, is either the mode off or some type of standard mode that this amp has. Again, I'm kind of going into this demo just kind of on a whim because we have this here. Thank you, Aaron. But I believe that this is kind of a standard setting for the amp itself. And when I hit the mode button on the foot switch, that's when that feature becomes accessible, at least as long as the foot switch is plugged in. Again, I'm not really sure. If you want to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, if you happen to own this amp. I haven't found a setting I dislike yet, so here we go. This is the Overdrive channel. So I'm going to go ahead and engage the mode switch, and we are going to start with first gear, which I do really like this setting. I like what this does to the tone. I like how some of the aggressive side of the gain is taken away. So as a comparison, I'm going to switch this back off. I mean, both sound good. That first gear is very tight. So now that we have the mode switch engaged on the foot switch, now I can change it on the amp. So this is second gear. So this is going to be obviously a tad bit more aggressive. That was second gear. Here is third gear, and the highest gain setting we have. I'm going to give it a tad bit more gain just to see how unnecessary I can be. All right, that is, like I said, I haven't found a setting that I dislike on this amp. I love this amp. It goes really, really good with my main guitar. We haven't even tried it with the plumes, so I am going to go back to first gear. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I just don't see the reason to boost any of the other, like second and third gear are very high gain, sound awesome. I'm going to back this gain off quite a bit. So here is the pre-boost setting that I have going right now. I'm going to back the treble down a little bit. All right, so this is the plumes. And I'm in the middle setting, which is no clipping. So it's really kind of like just a boost pedal with a little bit more, I guess a little more to it, because you can make it brighter with the tone knob, and you have a gain knob. So it's very, very cool. The plumes is only $100. It's a great pedal made in Akron, Ohio. All right, let's give it some more juice. That's really cool, actually. I'm a really big fan of this amp already. I don't mean to just sit over here and gush off this, but I really like this amp. I wish it could live here. You know, I have played a lot of, you know, Marshall style amps throughout the years, Friedman's, Bogner's, you name it. I really like where this one sits. I like how it has its own thing going on. I really like the controls. I like that the foot switch that it comes with, very intuitive. Great effects loop because you do have a level knob on it. We didn't show that off because I always talk about effects loops too much. But the fact that you can control the level on the effects loop, very, very cool. You can also change impedance. That's a very cool feature that some heads don't have. For example, you know, the Tiny Terror and the OR, we don't have the ability to change the impedance on those with a switch. So it's really cool this one can do it. The half power, I don't always need 100 watts. If you ever play outside, you might like having a 100 watt amp behind you when you're playing outside at big festivals. But here inside our small studio, it can be a bit much. So dialing it back is a wonderful feature. This mode setting, first gear, second gear, and third gear. What a cool way to just change up the sound of your amp. It really adds to the value and the tonal palette that you have with this circuit. The clean channel, much cleaner than I thought it was going to be. I really just golf clap for that. Like that clean channel. If you're looking for a versatile sort of Marshall sounding amp that can do some heavy music or anything between that, I think this might be your guy. Thank you for watching.